teen outcast who's schizophrenic and has insomnia. He nightly communicates with this imaginary friend of his, a man dressed in a giant bunny rabbit suit, a demented looking one, not like one you'd see at kids' birthday parties. But Frank tells him that the world is ending within the end of the month, which happens to be taking place over October in the late 80s. And over the course of the month, we like are kind of virtually experiencing like this weird psychological trippy stuff with Donnie, and among learning things about time travel and other like sci-fi philosophical type stuff. And we meet a slew of characters, including a new girl in town, Donnie's family, and his friends, and some people at his school in this small little Virginian town. I saw this movie years ago as like a youngster, and even then, like I was young, so I didn't understand the movie, but I thought it was really interesting and weird and unlike anything I'd ever seen.
The movie was actually pretty good. He showed me it a few years ago, and I only watched it twice, and I barely remember some of the stuff. But from what I remember, it was pretty interesting and good. I think I'll have to buy it on Blu-ray and watch it again since my memory's fuzzy. But I would actually give it a 8.5 out of 10 because of what I remember. It was pretty good.
Any cons?
The director's cut was a little too long.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only cons I would give is that on a first watch, and some movies are like this, not every movie you see you have to understand immediately, but this one in particular may be a little too complex for its own good. I would say you have to be like a little on like a Christopher Nolan type level or sort of Mr. Smarty Pants, Mr. or Mrs. Smarty Pants to grasp more of the meanings of this movie, at least right away. But otherwise, if you don't get it right away, it's definitely fun and challenging, I would say, for multiple viewings. I've been watching this movie like all throughout like middle school and high school, and I don't know. Again, I just like it. I like how virtual it feels. How it feels like you're aside from like you're with Donnie going through this. It's hard to like put into words, but you have to see the movie to see what I mean. It's very almost like Stanley Kubrickian and like Christopher Nolan-ish. And I like how trippy and weird it is too. And the cast is really good. Besides the characters that they play, they're all interesting and quirky and realistic. But yeah, I think this is Richard Kelly's best movie. I myself would give it 9.5 out of 10 stars. And I would recommend even the continuation called S Darko 2, which not a lot of people like, and Richard Kelly has nothing to do with it. But not as a simple fan of Donnie Darko, I'm not like hardcore like this one guy. I forget his name, but yeah, like this one guy like who they did a short on is a huge Donnie Darko fan, and I think it's called Where's Donnie or something like that. I would recommend it. But anyway, yeah, I would recommend Donnie Darko if you like psychological sci-fi type stuff or creepy thriller type movies, for this month in particular, or if you like anybody in the movie like Drew Barrymore, Jake Gyllenhaal, Patrick Swayze, R.I.P., then yeah, I would say this movie's for you.
Yeah, and please, Hollywood, no remake of it, because